We're now joined by State Senator Declan O'Scanlon, the Republican budget officer in the state Senate. Good to see you, Senator.
Good to see you, Steve. How are you?
I'm great. Well, listen, we're taping on the 17th of June. It'll be seen after the budget in New Jersey will officially be in place by the end of the month, hopefully. What's your biggest concern about this budget? Be specific, please.
My most specific concern is the $4 billion structural deficit that this budget leaves us with. It is really terrifying, and it sets us up for failure very quickly once this governor leaves office. The Murphy administration is going to go down as the administration of the most tragically missed opportunities. We could have substantially fixed our budget over this past 5 or 6 years with all the billions of dollars of federal money we had, the billions of dollars of unnecessarily borrowed money that we borrowed. We could have reworked the school funding formula. It is tragic that we didn't, and we are really set up for failure here. It's very easy to illustrate this $4 billion structural deficit that we have. We're spending down $2 billion, and this is a time of decent revenues. $2 billion of our surplus. It's going from $8 to $6 billion. We have $1 billion of additional taxes with the CBT, the transit fee.
Hold on. You said the CTT?
CBT, corporate business tax. Sorry.
Corporate business tax. Okay. And what's your issue with that?
My issue with that is that money isn't going to transit, as the governor has said he wants to do.
New Jersey Transit. The governor said it was going to New Jersey Transit.
It's not. None of it is going this year.
It's going to the general fund and then to New Jersey Transit?
No, it's not even going to New Jersey Transit at all this year. It's going to the general fund. That is $1 billion extra of structural deficit. Right there. Get you to 3. Then they're stealing over almost $600 million of debt defeasance.
Senator, do you want to use the word stealing? Do you want to use the word stealing?
I do. When you say you're going to use money to defease debt and avoid other taxes, yet you're taking it and putting it in the general fund, yeah, I can use the word stealing. Same thing with the transit fee, by the way. It sets us up to, again, we're taking our surplus from $8 billion to $6 billion this year, and we're leaving ourselves with a $4 billion structural deficit. That means in a year and a half, the surplus is gone. If we have and that's with decent revenue figures. We have a downturn, it's a disaster.
What's the next governor going to be facing in January 2026 where he or she takes office?
He will probably be faced with almost no surplus, and runaway spending that we put into place that it'll be very hard to claw back. We had a historic opportunity to remake our school funding formula. This governor put $3.5 billion extra into school funding during his tenure. Had we merely put $2.5 billion in, we could have reduced our structural deficit by $1 billion, been more responsible with that spending, given plenty of money to the districts that deserve more, and avoided the cuts to the ones that are really tragically being cut to the point where they're losing quality education. We could have avoided all of that.
So hold on, you're saying state funding to local public school districts, the school funding formula, if you will, which has not been changed in a long time. In your district in particular, Senator, are there specific school districts that are getting less state aid, therefore are cutting teachers, programs, services?
My district did okay this year. Last year was devastating. Next year maybe. But certainly my concern for the school children of New Jersey doesn't end at my district. In Monmouth County, we have devastating cuts to these districts. It is a disaster and totally unavoidable and should have been. The school funding formula.
Why do you think the governor would do that? But is it the formula that does it, Senator, or the governor's discretion? Like, how does that happen?
The formula is the governor. The formula is at the discretion of the governor every time he does a budget. The formula is at the discretion of the governor to lead and realize that the formula was unattainable and pie in the sky and would put way too much money into education, because that can happen. We already, even before we put this extra money in, spent more money on education than almost any other state in the nation. And they were putting out as good or better a product, many of them. So the formula isn't separate from the governor. He is not handcuffed by it. If he were to lead 4 or 5 years ago, start an effort to redo the school funding formula, we would be in a dramatic better place today. Instead, he just blindly followed the existing formula because we had so much money in our laps that was non-recurring, and now we're stuck with it. It is a missed opportunity of colossal proportions.
The standard bearer of the party that you're a member of, the Republican Party, former President Donald Trump, talks about what his administration would be like if he were elected again. And by any reasonable standard, it's hard to hear a lot of policy discussion. A lot of it is about a two-tiered system of justice, and that the Biden corruption, the Biden crime family, and that former President Trump was railroaded in his trial. To what degree do you believe that President Trump, well, let me ask you this way, how comfortable are you with President Trump being the standard bearer, the leader of the party, Republican Party that you're a part of?
Look, I made it clear Donald Trump was not my first choice to be the nominee. I made that clear, but he is the nominee. And we have to choose between a Trump administration and a Biden administration. And in that choice, that binary choice, it's not hard to decide.
It's not hard?
Ultimately, it's not. The Biden administration.
Even after January 6th and the former president saying that he would pardon, first day, he would immediately pardon those who were involved in the insurrection of January 6th. Easy choice.
I disagree with that. I disagree with many things that President Trump has said he will do. But I don't have a choice other than two of these choices. And the Biden administration has been a disaster for this country. So those are our choices, Steve. I made an argument to make other choices. I did not win that battle. Now we are faced with the choices that we have. And to go through another 4 years of a Biden administration scares the hell out of me. Am I concerned with some of the things that President Trump has said he will do? I am. And I will be a voice within the party to moderate some of those actions. And I think there'll be other voices too that I think will inform the Trump presidency and certainly filter out some of the things that we we shouldn't go down, but make it a better administration from a policy perspective than a Biden administration could hope to be.
State Senator Declan O'Scanlon, the Republican budget officer, an important voice in the state of New Jersey. Thank you so much, Senator. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Steve.
Stay Lewis will be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 30 years in public broadcasting. Funding has been provided by Hackensack Meridian Health, Veolia, Operating Engineers, Local 825, IBEW Local 102, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, New Brunswick Development Corporation, PSC&G, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Globe and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
Most people don't think about where their water comes from, but we do. Veolia. More than water. Resourcing the world.